Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How's everyone, guys? सब ठीक है? Everyone is all right. Sure. Perfect. Okay. So how's the preparation level? How's preparation is going? Average, below average, above average, near to completion. Good. Anyone else? Below average. Okay. Mine is average. Self practice all good. ठीक है. Okay, let's discuss investment appraisal. Let me discuss few points today. Guys, investment appraisal is a very important topic. One question is must. One question is must in exam. That is guaranteed by the examiner. You can observe from the last 2 years past papers. There is one question must from the must in the exam. So which topics can be tested? So let me explain it. Investment appraisal topic can be tested. NPV can be tested. How NPV can be tested? Maybe chances are lower. Simple NPV question will not be simple, but the NPV structure is simple. Simple NPV question with given cost of capital. Or okay, next is simple NPV question with risk adjusted WACC. That can also be tested. NPV question with MIRR plus project duration. That can be tested. Second, APV can be tested with proxy company. You have to ungear the beta or KE of proxy company. That can be tested. International investment appraisal can be tested. International investment appraisal can be tested with NPV or even with APV. We have solved the question from the NPV and both from the APV. Ilandev, Traumont. So this is the investment appraisal area. And believe me, cost of capital is also very important. Cost of capital can be tested with investment appraisal. With this area. And which theory can be tested? Advantage and disadvantage of IRR, MIRR, duration. That can be tested in exam. Then next, very common question, assumptions and given scenario. You can discuss assumption about selling price, variable cost, units, tax, and proxy company. You can discuss about the assumptions, estimation error. You can discuss these, apply sensitivity and scenario analysis. You can discuss this all. Assumption about growth. Yes, excellent. Growth, assumption about growth and inflation. You can also link monetary policy with the inflation. You can also link fiscal policy with tax. For example, let me explain you. In Pakistan, tax is around 28%. It's a very important example. In Pakistan, tax is like copper tax. I'm talking about the copper tax. Tax is like 28%. And it is given in the scenario that it is assumed that it will remain constant. It will remain constant. Okay, meanwhile, it is also given in the same question that government is facing issues in fiscal policy. Fiscal means tax. Fiscal policy as tax collection is lower. This is also mentioned. So what you will write? If you write it is assumed that taxes remain constant, tax will remain constant, you will not get the marks. So can anyone guide me that what you will write? Professional skills, skepticism. Ask the question. Yes, you will write, although it is assumed that tax will remain constant at 28%. However, by looking at that situation of the government, it is likely that government can increase the taxes in the future. In that case, NPV will decrease. NPV will decrease. That is skepticism and acumen. What is skepticism? Skepticism is, it is given that taxes remain constant. But being skeptical, you will say, no, you are saying that tax is at 28%, but no, it will definitely increase. Then you will get the marks. Okay, you have to identify the challenging assumption. It is written that inflation is constant at 5%. Inflation is 5% and it will remain constant. And at the same time, it is also given that all the countries in the world or your country is facing problem of managing the prices. Like obviously in our class, we have students from different countries all around the world. Some are belong to Pakistan, some are belong to India, some are belong to African states. In majority of the world, and today in this year, almost all of the countries are facing issues in managing the inflation. So if I say that inflation will remain constant, you will say, no, sir. I can challenge your assumption. So whenever you're writing the assumption, you have to challenge that. So whether the inflation will remain constant, even you can write the, you can challenge the selling price. Like if I'm getting the beta of the proxy company and using in my cost of capital, you can challenge it. How? Proxy company may not be similar to my company. Proxy company do not have the exact business risk and financial risk like the my company. So then you will get the proper marks of assumption and professional skills. Okay. Risk profile can be different. Size can be different. Financial risk can be different. Business risk can be different. Structure of the company can be different. Okay, guys. There are 4 professional skills. And all the professional skills will be tested. Mainly, majority of the professional skills will be tested in theory. First is communication. That is all about report writing. Second is analysis. Analysis of numerical. So whenever you are doing numerical, always discuss it. Numerical. Third is skepticism. Inquiring. Ask the question. Inquiring. Ask question. Fourth is professional acumen. Is it making commercial sense? Is it making commercial sense? I am saying inflation will remain constant. You will say no, sir. Inflation will not remain constant because country is facing issues with managing prices. Like let me tell you the story. You will better understand it. In last month in Pakistan, our central bank announces the monetary policy. Please listen it carefully, guys. It's very important. Last month, my central bank announces the monetary policy. And in monetary policy, they maintain the interest rate. Maintain the interest rate. And they were saying that inflation will remain constant. Inflation is controllable. So that's why we are maintaining the interest. Okay, on the very next day, they increase the petrol prices. They devalue the currency. On the very next day. So country, the country which is dependent upon imports, if your currency devalues, if you increase the petrol prices, what will happen? Whether inflation will increase or decrease? Please tell me. Inflation will increase. And if inflation is increasing, you have to increase the interest rate. You have to increase the interest rate, right? Agree? Are you getting my point, right? So that is called skepticism. That is called commercial acumen. You do not agree with the government stance. That is skepticism. Similarly, whatever the information given in the question, you can challenge that information by reading all the scenario. So I challenge the information given by my central bank based on the recent information, based on the information given in the scenario. Similarly, whenever you are writing the assumptions, whenever you are writing the theory, whenever you are writing the any discussion, challenge the assumption, challenge the data given by the examiner. Even examiner wants this. Okay. Okay. What other theory can be tested? Multinational operation theory can be tested. Multinational theory. International trade, trade restriction. So I request to read all those 10 pages of multinational theory. Okay. So this theory can be tested, but majorly you need to write about the assumptions. Can you elaborate on report form? We will cover the report in tomorrow section by solving the report type of question. Don't worry about that. Okay, one more thing. Theory of cost of capital is also important. You should know what is financial risk. You should know what is business risk. You should know the limitation of CAPM. These are the common theory. You should know all these. So this is the all thing which can be tested in exam. And believe me, question is easy. You just need to write. You just need to discuss it properly. Okay. So, guys, difference of NPV and APV can also be tested. Let me explain the interest and inflation. Interest is linked to the monetary policy. Inflation and interest both are linked to the monetary policy. If inflation increases in your country, government have to increase the interest rate to control the inflation. Inflation means supply and demand is increasing, prices are getting higher and higher, and people are buying it, prices are again getting higher and higher. Inflation is rising. What government will do? Government will increase the interest. What people will do? It is difficult to borrow from the bank. It is difficult to borrow on credit card. So people will start stopping their buying. People will stop buying. So it will decrease the inflation. It will cut the inflation. It will stop the inflation. So inflation and interest are both are linked. If inflation increases, government will increase the interest. If inflation decreases, government will decrease the interest. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, another thing. APV theory is important. Why APV is preferred? Why APV is better than NPV? And limitation of APV. You also need to read this. Okay. Now, please open everyone the latest past paper from the ACCA practice platform. Latest past paper from the ACCA practice platform. Past paper name is March-June 23. March-June 23. And its question number, I will tell you the question number. Question number 3. Question number 3. So March, June 2023, investment appraisal question. Evaluate the suitability of the investment appraisal in Uzbekistan. Look like Pakistan. So I will say the U, okay? Including in your analysis, the discussion of the CEO, concern about the consultant cash flow estimates. 30 marks, 5 marks available for the discussion. Discuss the financial and business risk which Black company will be exposed to if the project in U is approved. Commercial marks will be awarded for the demonstration of skills in analysis and evaluation, skepticism, and commercial acumen in your answer. Okay. Names are difficult, but that doesn't mean the question should be difficult. Let's read the question. Black company is a market leading online food delivery company in Turkey. The company was set up 5 years ago and is already highly profitable, exceeding all the founder revenue targets by a wide margin every quarter. Founder is the company majority shareholder and CEO, and he would like to repeat this success in the new territories, particularly in the location where the market has been slow to develop so far. Board is due to meet next week to review a potential expansion in the country of U. Okay, that is the aim of CEO. We can highlight this. Founder in the company is a majority shareholder. So that means he can take the risk. And CEO and would like to repeat the success in the new territories, particularly in the location where the market has been slow to develop so far. Okay. U is a Pakistani dollar and today exchange rate is 3.2 Turkish lira per dollar. Based on the Black experience in its home country, the board believes that revenue growth in the early stages of the new market is likely to be non-linear. Non-linear means it can be higher, it can be lower, it will not move in one liner. It will not move like in this way. It may be high, it may be low. It will vary actually. It is uncertain, yes, you can say that. Non-linear. The company has therefore hired a consultant who has modeled the project revenue based on an exponential mathematical function. Okay. The function takes into account inputs such as potential size of the market, the rate at which new customers are likely to adopt the new technology, as well as the reaction from the competitor. Black company consultant estimate the project will earn a pre-tax contribution margin of 40% throughout the 4-year project. So it's a 4-year project and has provided the following inflation adjusted cash flow. Revenue is given, contribution is given, fixed operating cost is given. The director planned to discuss the reliability of the model underpinning these cash flows estimate at the next board meeting. CEO main concern are that model is untested and that a mathematical equation is too much of a simplification to accurately model a complex scenario. He is also questioning the validity of the estimated fixed operating cost. These are the concern of the CEO. Black finance director has provided additional information relevant to the project in the U. If the project is approved, Black company will need to make an immediate investment of 220 million in the plant, which is not expected to be recoverable at the end of project life. Tax liable depreciation is state and basis 25%. In addition, Black company will receive a royalty payment from the investment in U payable annually. The first year royalty is $2.5 million, but this will increase annually at a rate of 5% in subsequent years. This is a royalty. Annual rate of corporate tax is 20% compared to Turkey for 15%. In both countries, taxes are payable in the year the liability rises. Tax authority in U allows company to carry forward losses and offset then again future trading profit. A bilateral tax treaty exists between the two countries. The treaty permits black company to offset overseas tax against any domestic tax which is incurred as a result of overseas earning. Project will also require investment in working capital at the start of each year equivalent to the 2% of that year expected pre-tax contribution. It is expected that working capital will be released back in full at the end of the project. Black company board intends to extract positive free cash flow as dividend at the earliest possible opportunity. Okay. Annual inflation is subject to remain constant at 3% and 12% in Turkey for the duration of the project. Predicted exchange rate using purchasing power parity are also given. Cost of capital is 16%. Okay. Although EU is a developing country, it is an attractive investment opportunity because it has excellent infrastructure and important cultural links with Turkey, including a shared language. The tax treatment of delivery rider is also favorable to black companies since new company allows delivery companies to treat their rider as self-employed worker rather than employees. Okay. This benefit black company since it can avoid paying employer benefit contribution for its self-employed delivery riders. This will significantly reduce the project cost. Several years ago, the tax authority in EU challenged the tax status of delivery rider as self-employed workers, but recently lost its case in Supreme Court. So this is the case, guys. You have to challenge this information. But you will write, obviously, government can pass a new law and implement it in the country, and obviously government can challenge the case of the Supreme Court and relaunch the case, and maybe next time Supreme Court gives the decision in the favor of the government. So it's a question mark. Although there have been frequent changes of government in EU recent history, the current government appears stable following a change in the country constitution. Government also recently removed a restriction on dividend remittance, which had been in the place for many years. However, the new government has inherited a high level of government debt, which is creating pressure on the government expenditure. So, do you see any problem in this highlighted statement? Guys, do you see problem in this statement? Anyone? Do you see any problem in the statement? Government has a high level of debt. So in order to cover the debt, government has to increase the income. And what is the income of the government? Government has to raise the taxes. Pestle, yes, somehow it can be linked with the pestle. Due to its developing country status, the online food delivery market is only just beginning to emerge in EU. Therefore, present excellent growth prospects. Black company finance sector plans to pursue the same business model in EU, relying on financial institution to process customer payment online. Okay. You have to penetrate in the market because it's a developing country. Said online food delivery market is only just beginning to emerge. Let's do it one by one. Evaluate the suitability of the investment proposal in you, including in your analysis a discussion of the CEO concern. So let's solve the numerical first. Yes, we can use the SPL model. Yes, we can use it. Evaluate the suitability of them. First of all, let's do the numerical. Then we will discuss it. So let me open the this sheet. Okay, let's solve it, guys. Let's solve from revenue or pre-tax. Let's solve it from pre-tax contribution. Part A. NPV of U project. Let's round off the $1 million. Years. First of all, contribution. $44, 55.2, 463, 185.2, 464. Pre-tax contribution. Next is fixed operating cost. All will be in the subsidiary currency. Fixed operating cost is 74, 93, 74, 93, 116, sorry, 93, 116, 145. Okay. Any other expense? Depreciation? Tax allowable depreciation? Tax depreciation is on a straight line basis, 220 million divided by 4. Uh, 220 million into 25%. Any other expense? Royalty payment. Royalty payment. Royalty is 5% of the, royalty is 2.5 billion. 2.5 billion. And it will increase by 5% annually. 5%. Ignore the decimal sign, decimal now, for now. Profit, pre-tax contribution, minus fixed cost, minus tax allowable depreciation, minus royalty. Okay. Now it is written in the question that you can carry forward the losses. Carry forward the losses. Okay. You can solve it in the working. You can also solve it here. It's up to you. Let's carry forward the losses. This loss will be carried forward here. And adjusted profit will be. Is there any profit for tax here now? Is there any profit in year 1 for the tax now? No, no. Because we have carry forward here. Even in year 0, it is negative. So all 11.44 will be deducted from here, and remaining will be adjusted from here. So let me count that. Remaining will be adjusted from here. So only 89.62 will be available for tax. And tax will be 20% in that country. So this is the tax which you will calculate only. Only this is the tax which is available for pay. Now these two are working. You can ignore that. Okay. And now add back depreciation. Add back depreciation. Now let's solve the working capital change. Plus you can also add back the carry forward losses. No? By the way, you can also do it in the working. Okay, now calculate working capital change. Let me solve it in the working. Years 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Working capital is 2% of the contribution. So let me copy the contribution from above. So working capital requirement is 1 year in advance, 2%. Now change. This is in the negative. This will be this minus this. This is working capital change. 46, cell number 46. A46. Guys, instead of solving here, you can solve it in the you can solve this in the working. How? Let me solve it in the working as well. Profit. Copy the profit from above. Go to the working. Copy the profit from above. Link with the profit cell. Carry forward losses. This will be carry forward into the next year. This will also carry forward in the next year. Both will carry forward in the next year. So here, 11.44 is the profit that will be removed. And in next year, plus 87 plus 95 minus 11, that will be removed from here. $171. So adjusted profit is in this year, all the losses carry forward, carry forward, carry forward. In this year only is 89. So apply the tax. %20. So now copy this cell above, A51. Instead of writing all these three, A51. That's how you can solve it. Okay. Look, in this question, it is given that we have to carry forward the losses. ये समझ आ गया था आपको? This statement is given, right? I have written profit from the above. Now carry forward the losses. This 87 will be carried forward to the next year. This 95 will be carried forward to the next year. 87 and 95. 11 will be adjusted here. 171 will be adjusted here. So adjusted profit in year 0, in year 1, 2, 3, there will be nil. In year 4, only 89.62 is the profitable. So only 20% tax will be payable, and that is 17.9. That has happened. Okay. You can also perform this working in the above cell, in the main performer. Okay, next is investment. $220 million. Now nothing else net cash flow. These are the net cash. Why we have not added back the tax losses now? Because I have done the working in the, I have calculated the taxes in the working now. So there is no need to add it back. Why in a previous working I have added back? Because I have deducted from the above performer, then I have to add it back. Here, I have performed this whole highlighted working in the working below. That's why there is no need to add it back. Did you get it? Previously, I was deducting the losses above. That's why I have to add it back. Here, I have done the working only in the appendix, in the working below. So there is no need to add it back. Okay, the net cash flows in dollar, but we live in Turkey, so we have to convert it into lira. So exchange rates, that is TL over dollar. 3.82, 4.15, 4.51, 4.90, 5.33. So multiply all the exchange rates now in the TL. Guys, is there any additional tax? Is there any additional tax? In Turkey, tax is 15%, and in U country, tax was 20%. So there is no additional tax. No additional tax. Net cash flow working is this. Add all the cash flows from profit to investment. Profit to investment. Okay, but now add the direct income. Royalty is the direct income. But add the royalty income in TL, Turkish lira. By the way, royalty income is given in which currency? Royalty income is given in dollars. So 2.5, I'm doing it directly into exchange rate. Right? Okay. And apply the complete tax. And royalty, we have not deducted the tax, so apply the full tax. 15%. Nothing is else. Net cash flows. NPV discounted was 16%. NPV bracket start, select all cash flows from year 1 onwards. Okay, rate is 20.79 is the answer. 20.79. $20.79 is the answer. Royalty is given in dollars. 2.5. So what I have done, I have multiplied the royalty with the exchange rate. Net cash flow before exchange rate. Simply add all cash flows from profit till investment. Look at the formula. No? Why we have to do royalty for the second? Royalty is not for the second time. Royalty is the expense of the subsidiary, and royalty is the income of the parent company. Royalty is paid by a subsidiary. That's why it is expense there. But royalty is the income of the parent company. So that's why you will add it as a income in the parent company. Okay. Now let's discuss it. Let me discuss the result. Discussion. First of all, discuss the result. What was the requirement? Evaluate the suitability of the investment. Then we will discuss the concern of CEO. Suitability of project or evaluation. Guys, please tell me whether we should accept the project or not. Okay, we should accept it. As project NPV is positive, like company should put that because it is increasing it is increasing the wealth of students. Bas, that's it. Any point you want to add? Any point you want to add? Look at the cash flows. Assumptions. Any number we have right from the mathematical function will be in the director concern. Okay. Always write however. However, like we should lie sensitivity scenario analysis as majority of cash flows depends upon year 4. Company should check the reliability of model predicting year 4 cash flows. Guys, look at the data. Everything is smooth in year 1 and 2, but in year 4, there are abnormal cash flows. Pre-tax contribution 464. So you will write that although project is positive, we should accept the project. But we should raise some question, we should raise eyebrows on the year 4 data, right? Okay, now what are the concern of the CEO? Concern. Main concern are that model is untested and that a mathematical equation is too much of a simplification to accurately model a complex net. Validity of fixed operating costs. Only basis on the last year. So that last year is a question mark. Na? Now let's discuss the CEO concern. CEO has raised concern over the model untesting plus its oversimplification. Okay, what should we write here? Anyone? Any clue? Anyone? Okay, now let me write it. Although CEO has some concerns, but mathematical function always perform well when it is near to real world. It is given in scenario that model has taken all the possible circumstances that can appear in that country. Black company can improve the result by inputting its own experience of running the company's own experience of running the company in Turkey, as that data is available. So having past data of Turkey company and by linking it to data of Uzbekistan, results can be improved, right? Results can be improved. Plus, another concern was validity of the fixed operating cost. Okay, guys, it is given in scenario that revenue growth is non-linear, but fixed operating cost is increasing in linear way. If you look at the fixed operating cost, Previously it was 74, then 93, then 160, then 145. It is increasing in a smooth way. But revenue is not increasing in a smooth way. Either cost is fixed and only increasing with relevant inflation, or model fails to incorporate its non-linear relation. You can also write this. Okay. Plus, you can also write that contribution margin is 40% in all years, ignoring the competition. Ignoring the competition or new entrants. Right? You can also write contribution is 40% all years, ignoring the competition or new entrants. Market cannot be so linear. Yes. As the product becomes older, what will happen? Contribution margin will reduce. But here it is not reducing. Right? Okay, then the B part is discuss the financial and business risk which black company will be exposed to if the project is approved. You can only write that theory in the Excel which is linked to the numerical part. You can only write that theory in the Excel which is linked to the numerical part. As this theory was linked to the numerical part, that's why I have written in the Excel. Okay, here you can write discussion on financial and business risk. Yeah, you have to write it. It's like a mixed discussion. Cross-linking, it is preferred to refer to the numerical. It is preferred to refer it. Okay, guys, can you tell me what if we move from Turkey to that country, what risk we will face? Anyone? If black company moves to it will face many financial and business risk. Company should evaluate all risks, explore explore the ways to minimize or mitigate these risks. So if I can identify what are the risks, Exchange loss risk. What are the exchange losses? You are investing in Ukistan, and if Ukistan currency start devaluing, what will happen? Your income will decrease. Exchange loss. By the way, you have to explain all these. I'm just writing the name, but you have to explain all these. Exchange loss or another fiscal risk. What is fiscal risk? Risk of increase in uh, tax rates, uh, or higher interest rate, higher inflation can lead to higher interest rate, which can decrease the demand or restriction on remittance. Remittance. And then we have identified the risk of tax on rider income. Tax on, what was that exactly, by the way? What was the wording? Tax status on delivery riders. Tax status on delivery riders. You have to discuss it. Discuss it. Government pass new legislation. This tax. क्या होगा फिर? What will happen after that? It will reduce our NPV. We have to assess the sensitivity of it. Turkey government may impose higher tax on royalty income. Okay. Any other risk? Political risk. If government changes. Another risk, carry forward of losses risk. Government may stop you to carry forward till third year. Risk of year 4 cash flows. Online payment model risk. As country is not used to online mode. By the way, if it is after COVID, then this is not a risk. But if it is before COVID, then it's a major risk. You know, as we all know that before COVID, we are not used to online classes. There is no cultural differences. Do not write this because it is written in the question that Turkey and Ukistan have almost similar cultures. Technology. Okay, you can also risk what are the more business risk can be finding new workforce in Uzbekistan. It's training plus Health and safety issues for riders. बहुत लिख लिया वैसे, by the way we have done it enough. Compliance challenges. Okay. By the way, you have to explain these all. You will not get number if you write only the headings. Any question? At least write one or two lines for every point. One or two lines for every point. Okay. No, no, generally you will write one or two points for every point. One or two lines for every point. I think there is no need to segregate that which is financial risk and which is business risk. You can write it combinedly. What's actually what we have to do? We have to write mainly two paragraphs. One for the financial risk and one for the business risk. Actually. And those two paragraphs should be the big one. Identify 2 to 3 points in financial risk, 2 to 3 points in business risk. That would be enough. Three points. More than enough. Okay. Professional skepticism and acumen is always required in every question, by the way. Recommendation आपने दी तो है. Recommendation you have given the recommendation in part A ना. हाँ, there is no need to recommend in part B. Any other question? So all the risk which is ultimately hit the cash flows those will be financial risk, and any risk that is that will hit the viability of the business, that will be business risk. So you can make two paragraphs. So for tomorrow class, I have an assignment. This is the question. Same paper. The question number 2. Oxwick Company. There's 3 parts. You will solve question. Maybe it's your choice. You can solve question here, but you have to send me the Excel file, Excel and Word file. You have to email me. Okay. Business valuation. Tomorrow, business valuation. Revise the business valuation and send me the assignment, or send me this assignment through email. I will check all the assignments in live class. Okay. So it is request, and it is request to everyone that kindly first of all, let's all these 3 questions. Then you will, then you can download the answer. But please do not recommend the answer now. Do not refer to the answer now. We can solve first question tomorrow. If we get the time, we can solve first question tomorrow. But priority is to solve the second question now. If we didn't get the time tomorrow, we will solve it on Monday. Tomorrow class will be at the same time, 11 a.m. Pakistan time. See you tomorrow, and please do solve it. The assignment name is Oxwick question. In weekdays, class will be on Monday. Class will be in evening. I will share the time, but obviously it will be in evening. I will upload the recording like in couple of hours. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Allah Hafiz.